fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, yeah. Burn it down, oh yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun feel me now, feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange podcast. It's Friday, April 8th, 8 p.m. We've got one heck of a show for you tonight. Hope everybody had a good week. We're going to go ahead and get right into this stuff. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, brother, what's going on?
Hanging in there as usual, man. You know, just hanging
It's
in.
electric out there, man. It is electric. You
I
know?
know. Been kind of a crazy week after last week's podcast, but
There is a lot of stuff going on in Bella Vista. A
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, I mean, a lot going on. We're gonna break down a bunch of it this week too, man.
Yeah. It's so what do you want to do? I'll come out of the gate with a few things going on in Bella Vista, and we can get into the meat of the show.
Yeah. I think we should we should definitely get into some local events. You know, maybe I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. I mean,
Okay. All right.
go ahead and do what we do.
Yeah,
What you got for us?
So we have the annual tree giveaway. I know you're familiar with this. This is a Walton Family Foundation does a grant every year, and they have a free giveaway for trees and shrubs. So this year it is taking place at St. Bernard's Catholic Church. If anybody's not familiar with that, you get off at exit 98. If you're heading north, take a left, head 340 west, and you run right into it on the right side there. So
It's
you follow
just
it
before you
down
get
a
like
few
to
miles.
Casey's, right?
Yep. Before Casey's, right after where the district court is and that plaza is, where the Bluebird shed is. It's right
Yeah.
there on the right. So
Okay.
8 o'clock to noon, you can pick up a tree or a shrub. And I think last year I got an oak tree.
Really?
So get out there and do that. Plant a tree. So, I mean, it's a nice thing that Walton Family Foundation is doing. You need to have some kind of identification. So if you have your license, that's fine. It shows your address or some kind of utility bill. So
Okay.
you can't just have anybody. Unfortunately, there's people coming from outside and
Somebody
don't
from
live in the
Missouri is
area.
like, "Hey, man,
Right,
I live up in
I need-
Joplin. Can I get one of them free trees?"
Yeah. I'm a landscaper. I need 20 trees for my
Yeah.
job. You know what I mean?
I mean, times are hard out
That
there,
guy.
man. Times are
That
hard,
guy.
man. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy, okay?
That guy. All right. So the kickoff for Bentonville Farmers Markets this Saturday. I was like, wow, it's already here. And
Spring is sprung, man. It's sprung.
Yeah. So the fresh fruits and vegetables, meats, there'll be craft people there and all kinds of stuff. So it's a good time. It's every Saturday starting April 9th all the way up to right before Halloween. So
Okay.
that's
I like
downtown
to hit them
Bentonville.
up and find those guys that like, grass-fed beef and stuff, man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh
Yeah, they'll
my
be out
gosh,
there.
bacon. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness,
Yep.
man. That stuff is so good from the farmer's market.
Yeah, that's slab bacon, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to run every Saturday from 7:30 to 1 p.m. which is I've been there a few times. I enjoy going down there, just walking and checking out what people got. And like I said, there's some small vendors there that do some really specialized stuff. So if you haven't been there, you need to go and check it out. So in a bike theme here, we have a gravel festival for multiple sclerosis. So the money is going towards a good cause here. This is running from April 9th to April 10th. It starts off in Lawrence Plaza in Bentonville, and it finishes up in Rockford Grange in Washburn, Missouri. And we were talking about that last
Missouri,
week.
man, that's a ride and a half right there. How far is
Heck
that?
yeah. That's a trip out there, and that area is just absolutely beautiful. So they have different routes and different start times, and check that out for more details. We'll drop that in on one of the comment sections there.
Yeah,
on our
share that.
page.
We'll definitely share the event out on our page. That's a reminder. Like during, I mean, we're doing this as a public service, right, to let everybody know what's going on there, but. Also, I mean, please be aware that there are going to be people on bikes out on the roads. It's a road bike race, right?
Be safe out
there. Be safe, leave a little bit early, be patient. Don't try to run anybody off the road. I mean, like, I know everybody's been kind of locked down and they get frustrated when they get behind something slow. Just please, I mean, bikers have the right to use the road too, right? I mean,
totally agree with you. We don't need anybody getting hurt. It's for a good cause. And the last thing we want to do is see something bad happen to somebody. Everybody needs to be focused.
Slow it down, man. Slow it down, right? I mean, like, there's nothing worth, catching a charge or injuring somebody. You're gonna feel bad if you do that.
Yeah, and you don't want to live with that either if something bad happens. So, Pedal It Forward NWA has that bike citywide bike drive. You were talking about that last week. You have a friend that did that for their daughter and stuff. So that's taking place Saturday, April 23rd. Great cause. You can drop it off at any of the fire departments. So east side, west side, wherever you are. Please, if you have bikes that you're not using, there's kids out there that need bikes. And so that's Saturday. I think what was it? April 23rd.
Yeah.
I
got the flyer pulled up.
Okay.
They do. I mean, like I was telling you, man, my friend that lives up in Springfield, he's part of a, community organization as well. And, they had a special needs child, that, needed a bike with, it's like a 3-wheel bike, right? I mean, like she's got some balance issues, from developmental problems.
Okay.
They were looking around up there. They couldn't find anything. He did a post. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is like right up Pedal It Forward's alley. I mean, they're gonna help you out, right? And so he called him, got a bike. I wish I'm not gonna share any pictures of the child on here because I don't have consent or anything like that. Right. But I'm gonna say the smiles from this little girl. I mean, he tagged me in the post.
Ear to ear,
right? Dude, it made me so happy to be, just to recommend them.
Well, it melts your heart, man.
Yeah,
and that's
doing a great
really
thing.
Cool. That's really cool that you did that and Pedal It Forward. I mean, you give a bike to someone that's out of state.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, that's just
it shows their heart's in the right place, man. I mean, like they I think their motto is everyone needs a bike, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, like that. It's a great thing. I mean, like, I know I have several dirty bikes, right? Bikes with flat tires.
Can you remember the first
brakes? I mean,
can you remember the first bike you got?
Yeah, it was a hand-me-down. I can. Man. It was a hand-me-down.
Yeah, I can too.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, it was probably the best bike I had. I mean, like, I loved it, man. That's like the first bike you get as a child, right? It's like the first little taste of freedom you get, right?
Yeah.
Like. And so, I mean, like, I love what they're doing. And I guarantee you, I will be dropping off some bikes on April 23rd because we have a few too many that we've outgrown or we don't use anymore. We've got other bikes. And so we're going to be dropping off some. Hopefully they can use the parts and put a smile on other people's face. I just love what they're doing.
That's a great thing to do. Yep. Definitely there. So Mercy Way Bridge Replacement Project. We've been talking about that too. I don't want to get into too many details, but boy, it could be a potential bottleneck there. And you made a good point about is the traffic going to be rerouted there, or they're just going to close the bridge down?
That's
I mean,
that I would
that's
like.
gonna
I would
be-
like more explanation on that, right? Because
No.
I mean, we've already got some. We've got a kind of a bottleneck on the other side. You know, coming off of like if you're coming out of the Highlands and you're coming up the Harps, right there on that little S curve.
Right.
You know, you got two bridges being worked on right there at this moment in time. Now they rerouted traffic, right? And so that's like it's not too bad of a bottleneck. Are they planning on doing the same thing? I would like more explanation on this because you know obviously there are still some supply chain shortages and all that, right? Cost is going up on multiple things, you know, asphalt, everything. I actually remember seeing it was a city planning meeting talking about the price of asphalt, right? It's gone up. So they got to allocate more money to, you know, in the budget for asphalt. So it's like, is it wise to do a major project like this in two major arteries at the same time? Finish one and then work on the other one? I don't know. You know, I mean, that's not my decision, obviously. I'm just a resident. But I mean, it again, it goes back to like inconveniencing of, I mean, I get progress always has an inconvenience, but you try to mitigate the amount of inconvenience for the residents and you work on one project at a time. And the other project, and I don't know if this is like budgetary commitment issues that they have to do. They have to spend this money within a certain time frame or not. I just think, man, I want more clarity on what the situation is going to be because honestly, if they take that bridge out and it's impassable, that's going to create kind of a roundabout trip for me to go to Allen's, right?
Right.
And
and
now
anybody in that plaza, right?
Yeah, it's going to detract from people actually wanting to go to that plaza because if you shoot down Kingsland or Trafalgar, right, you go like, all right, now I got to make a left and backtrack all the way back up, or you shoot a right and you go to Harps, or you shoot a right and go up to Pineville, Missouri, right? It's about convenience, and
you
know.
And we just got done with the bypass, Chris. So it opened everything up, and it's been the traffic flow.
We've been in a constant state of construction, man. You know, it's like, here we go again, right?
That's what happens with growth. So you made some great points with that. I don't know what's you know how that bridge is. If it's like on its last legs, and within 3 months it's going to collapse. I don't know all the details, but if they can hold off, it'd probably be more beneficial. But again, it looks like we had some kind of grant we were given. So I don't know if that has a certain timeline on it. The whole project is $7.6 million. And of that, matching grant programs for $300,000. So I'm assuming that we were going to put $600,000 in and we get the $300,000 we put up, and the additional $300,000 was matched. So
there's a link where it's a link out on the city page if you want to read more on it. I be quite honest, I haven't had the time to actually go out there this week. I've been kind of busy this week. But you know, I'll read that link, and if there's still questions, I'll probably poll them for some more information, you know.
Yeah. I think everybody, I think people are forgetting it, or some people that are new to the area don't know where that is. So it probably makes more sense to, you know, to list that stuff. So, hey, everybody's looking for jobs out there. Benton County Sheriff's Office is hiring. Starting pay $17.26 to $19.32 hours. So, man, you got vacation, 2 weeks vacation, holiday pay, and retirement, and there's a lot. I mean, if you're a young kid, this could be a nice opportunity for you.
Career, right?
They had a few positions. I went on their website. They got several positions up. So if you want to go to the sheriff, Benton County, Arkansas.gov and go into current openings, they'll have all the jobs there. So it's worth taking checking it out. I wish I had a job like that when I was, you know. So
well, you know, I mean, there's some several options that I usually tell young kids. Like, you know, I've got coworkers and stuff that, you know, hey man, you know, you talk to my kid. You know, why don't you talk to your kid? Right, it's your kid. You know, usually that's how the conversation goes, right? But then it's like, no, he's thinking about joining the military. I was like, well, what's he want to do? Well, he plays Call of Duty all the time, so he wants to go into Rangers and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. No, let's. Yes, I will talk to your kid. Okay, like, you know, but.
Yeah, you know, he's SEAL material.
Yeah. You know, I mean, like they want to go into the elite special force. And I'm like, yeah. It sounds glamorous. It really does, you know, and especially if you're playing Call of Duty or, you know.
Oh, when you're watching on TV, it does, right?
But you know, so then the conversation usually goes with like, you know, the glamorous thing, right? But you got to think about like jumping out of helicopters, jumping out of airplanes, fast roping, and everything else, right? That takes a toll on your body, right? What I would recommend, now you still have the option to do that later in your military career, right? What I would recommend doing is find a job that directly translates to the civilian world, right? Public service is another kind of mental aspect of that, right? Like if you can find a job working for a city, a county, a state, right? You're already starting to bank up that retirement time just right out the gate if you're lucky enough to get your foot in the door, right? So these job opportunities that open up with cities and county government and state government and federal government, these are good opportunities for young people to actually build a career out of it. And once you're in the system, then you can decide to kind of wiggle around and transfer and all that. So stepping stones, though, right? Or if you want, if you're really die hard and you want to go and, go to that recruiter and say, I want to jump out of airplanes, go ahead. That's on you. That's your prerogative, right? So
that's for sure. That's for sure. So Saturday, April 23rd from 9 to 2 is the Spring Bazaar. And
that's bizarre. Wait.
It's bizarre.
Oh, the Spring Bazaar. Okay.
That is bizarre. I was just having flashbacks of a Christmas bazaar when I was like 5th
I know.
grade.
Did we just talk about
stuff.
a bazaar? Like
it's bizarre, man.
It's bizarre.
So
hey, the bazaar has a cash bar though. I'm reading that right now. So
I don't understand that, but hey, I'm
meet
all
me
for
at the
that.
cash bar at the bazaar. That's a country song right there, man.
75 artists and crafters will have items for sale. So you're going to make me laugh through this whole our 6th episode here. I got to keep it together, man. We're just starting this. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
man.
there's a cash bar available with food options. So again, April 23rd, Reardon Hall at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
I don't know cafe. I don't know cafes. They're catering that. I believe they got some pretty good food over at that joint.
Yeah.
So
I haven't been over there
for the food, man.
Yeah. So why don't we take a break and let's get into the our topics?
Sounds like a plan, Stan. All right, we'll be right back. We are back from that short intermission. Hope everybody enjoyed their time away from us. We are going to get into another topic that we talked about last week. It goes back to the Dollar General, right? We got some updates on that. Apparently, the city posted a long post earlier this week, and they're going to consolidate some of the meeting. Mark, do you got that pulled up or not? Or you want me to see if I can dig it up?
I can look at it. Basically, what they're saying, their expectation is there's going to be a large crowd, which, I'm looking forward to that.
I hope there's a large crowd.
This has really resonated with the community. A lot of people are upset over this. Basically, what they're saying earlier in the week is if there's people in front of you and they're expressing the same concerns as you have, there's no need for you to voice your opinion, which I thought was really odd. I guess
who put this statement out? If I can find
it. It looks like they're trying to save time. So in other words, if you were up and I was behind you and you said, you know what, I'm not on board with this. I live down the road from there. I don't think this should be turned into a commercial area. I like the green space. It's near the golf courses. I don't want any part of this. Then I'm after you, and maybe I have some different thoughts about it or whatever, but I align with your thoughts. I just say, I agree with him. So it's like a bunch of puppets lining up and
it's like,
one after another.
Here's the buckets, right? And this is ping pong ball 1 and ping pong ball 2 and ping pong ball 3. And then at the end of it, we're going to count the ping pong balls. I'm sorry. That just seems a little demeaning. As a person who pays taxes, a person who has served this country, a person that believes in freedom of speech, I think I'm probably going to go up there and, say the same thing, even if I'm saying the same message, right? At least I know we said this, right? At least your voice, you feel validated. It's not about expressing, how many numbers, because we're all just a peg on the board, right? To some of these bean counters, right? It's you as a citizen have the right to participate in the civic process. And that's to voice your opinions to your civic leaders, right? To petition your government, to air out those grievances with your government, right? And not be like, well, for the sake of time, I'm sorry, you're a public servant. You work for us, we the people.
Right.
I get on the interest of saving time, right? But if you guys wanted to save time, you could have shopped this around for 45 days and not 7 days, and then, like I said, I'm the Planning Commission, right? I guess I'm looking at the article right now. They anticipate a request for the rezone of a parcel near Metfield will draw a crowd. So there will be a dedicated public hearing on this item. So I guess they're dedicating the whole public hearing to the Dollar General. That's good. I'm glad to see that, right? That means we got some time.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to go there and voice their opinion. Make sure that you are heard. Just don't be like, well, I concur.
And here, you're entitled to your opinion, and I think everybody should voice it. Unfortunately, and you said this a while back, I don't think we're going to have enough room in there. I mean, it's regulated by the fire department. There's only a certain amount of people that can get into that building. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be sitting outside that building, not able to come in and voice their opinion, which is unfortunate.
They're going to get frustrated and all that. I get that, right? But it's part of the civic process, man. Think about the people in Chicago having to vote and wait in line for 4 or 5 hours, right?
Right.
They give up. They give up.
Well, that's
they give up and walk away.
But my question is, are they gonna let everybody talk if they want to talk, or are they just gonna cut it off at some point and say that's it? Because
I would think that would be very bad optics if they cut it off, man. I think it would be very bad optics if they did that.
Well, it says here in section number 2, if one person stands up to speak on behalf of a group of 10, so they're basically saying, hey, we don't have a problem with this. In the sense of time, it will be reflected that 10 individuals expressed opposition and why. This is a good way for a large group with like-minded concerns to put together their argument and present it on behalf of everyone in the group.
Well, I think like-minded individuals have gotten together, right? But I think that like-minded individuals still feel the need to have their voice validated, their voice heard, right? And again, we're putting people in boxes, right? Like,
Right.
I talk with my neighbors. They're against it, right? They bring up valid points, and they're going to do that in their own words.
Right.
I may show up and bring up my valid points and do it in my own words. But at the end of the day, I'm getting that burden off my chest. I'm
Right.
putting that out there. I know my voice. I spoke my voice. My voice was heard. And that's validation. Not rolling your eyes up and saying, well, just, I mean, if that's the case, then why don't you just have, hand out a 1 and a 2, right? When everybody walks in the door, Mark. Right. And everybody who's for it, have them hold up a 1. Everybody who's against it, hold up a 2. I mean, like, do you feel validated that way?
That's where you're going. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so here's how I look at this.
Such an unreasonable request, man.
Right.
You have the right to petition your government. Sorry.
Right. Well, we started this podcast as an open forum. So reason why I think it's a good idea to have each individual have that minute or whatever. It doesn't have to be 3 minutes. It could be a minute.
Right.
Is because heck, someone else might come up with something for it, a reason behind it that I might like. Who knows?
Right.
I'm opposed to it right now. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But then again, you just never know. Someone might come up there and give you some reasons or some different ideas what we can do, and maybe change some minds. I don't know. But if you restrict that,
man, it's my ability to speak, right? I mean, that's what everything this podcast is formulated about is our ability to speak. Right, not to allow somebody to suppress our speech like they do on social media, like people do
all the time.
Like people like say, well, you're just crazy. Or like even the people on this topic, right? Like, I mean, on our post that, got a buttload of views this week.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean,
from last week, our Dollar General discussion got an epic amount of views. I was surprised. I mean, but this is a hot topic and everybody should be talking about it, but there's certain groups that aren't allowing it to be even mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And this is a serious issue for the East Side, a large population of people, very similar to the Stump Dump, right? Large issue of people being suppressed. I'm sorry, I'm not cool with that. I'm really not cool with that. Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah, you can't control the narrative. You can't control what people think and do. It's un-American, man. You need to let people.
I encourage everybody to go out.
Come out.
I recommended I did some recommended reading last week, right? The old Bible.
Yeah. Right.
Some recommended reading this week, right? Everybody should be carrying around these little I don't know if you can see it with the glare, but that's a Declaration of Independence in the pocket Constitution, baby.
Right.
Should be handed out to everybody. Everybody should be familiar with this document. You should carry this sucker around with you everywhere you go.
Right.
You might need it if Russia shows up. I don't know, maybe.
So it's going to take place. So what do we got? April 11th is what it is, and the Planning Commission meeting is April 11th at 4:30. So here's my problem. The other day I was in there on their site on the calendar, and I switched my iPhone over to calendar date because I saw that it was the 18th. That's when I sent you an email. I said they moved the meeting to the 18th.
Oh, you're talking about the city website, right?
Yeah, well, I moved it to the 18th because I thought they canceled the 11th. So that's when I sent you. You're like, what are you talking about? It's still the 11th. But on their website, it was showing the 18th it was moved to. So that's why I moved it. So there's confusion out there.
There is, like, and I was on the city website trying to figure this out when you told me that. And I was like,
well, did you see it?
What is going on here? What is the major malfunction on this? Let me see if I can get this pulled up real quick.
So I can't be the only one. I go on there and check what there is coming up in the calendar, and that day it was moved out to the 18th because I clicked on it and I changed my calendar to reflect that.
If we can share this city website out, it may be a little distorted. I don't know. Well, probably be distorted on your end, but don't worry, it's not going to be distorted for our viewers. Let's see. We'll go ahead and cut over to this transition. Maybe. I don't know. Is it going to work? Today, Junior. There we go. Did it transition? I think it did. I don't know. Did it? It's doing it. I think maybe. Oh, Zoom's jacked up or what? There we go. All right. Let's see. You scroll down on the city website and you got April 2022. Hopefully you can read this. On April 2022, it looks like it might be cropping it off a little bit on your end, Mark. I'm not sure.
That's fine. That's fine.
What
was
I'm
in there
saying
at the was in there on the 18th?
no, I'm gonna make this. I want to make this right for our viewers, because I want people to see what we see. Yes, little on the fly production value right there for you. You know, we don't do this for a living, y'all. Not yet, anyway. Maybe we get some subscribers, likes, downloads, and all that. All right, whatever. So, you can see there's multiple dates on here, right? They're red. And today, 6th, 7th, 8th. We go to the 11th, it's black. I don't know why. Why is that, Mark? I can't click on anything to see what's going on. But, like, if I click on, Friday the 8th, I don't even know what's going on their website. Their website's locking up on me, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be dipped.
Yeah.
I got probably too many tabs open, man. Let me close some of this stuff.
Well, long story short is
the site's even messing up on me, man. Look at it's prime example. Here we go. There we go, man. Now we're fired off, right? So we go to Friday the 8th. It tells me over here on the right-hand side what, spring white goods pickup. I click on the 11th. There's nothing. There's nothing I can click on.
And that's why I switched over and I sent you that email and said, hey, they moved it to the 18th. And that's where I moved it.
So apparently, if you go to community development, I figured this one out too. If you go to community development, I think there's another section, but this is typical government website, right? They don't make information easy to find. I'm sorry. If I have a calendar, man, like everything that's associated with me is on that calendar for that date, right? So a city, naturally, if a city is having a zoning meeting, you would think like the primary calendar would reflect that, right? You would think. I mean, I know third graders that are more organized than this calendar, dude. I know I'm popping another shot out there, but I'm serious.
Well, here's
you
here's
expect
my
people
concern.
to take you seriously as professionals, but you can't even make it easy for people to find information.
My concern here is what I did. How many other people looked down there and moved it out to the 18th? They aren't going to show up on the 11th.
Yeah. Apparently, like they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, well, there's nothing going on the 11th. Do I got the date wrong? No, you don't. Because I'm even like, I'm here trying to find it. I'm like, community development, city ordinances, permits and applications. I know it's here somewhere. Development calendar, maybe that's where it's at, right? Let's see. No, not there.
Well, we got it right now. That's all that counts, man.
Right.
So hopefully we can get the.
So we know it is.
Right. We know now because
Monday, April 11th, 4:30 p.m. Right. Anybody who's watching this from the city, you might want to take note. Get your stuff together with your freaking calendar. Like everything that the city's doing, even to include mayor's meetings or mayor's outings and all that. Everything that the city's doing should be right there readily available. If you have a calendar on your main page, I should be able to click on that and see all the activities that are doing. I don't know. Maybe not. My opinion. But I'm going to say y'all got to get your stuff together. Whoever's running this, take a course.
Well,
I'm sure there's training opportunities out there.
And a lot of people are going to show up on the 18th and finally realize
be livid, right? Like what?
Right.
So again, we Monday, the 11th, 4:30 p.m. Get there early. Get there early. We're going to be there. Are you going to be there, Mark? I know I'm going to try to be there.
I'll be there, but it's going to be around 4:30. I can't get there any earlier than
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there a little early. I might be out front talking to some people. Maybe if we can get some photo ops together and stuff. Maybe get some video footage of us all saying, "Yo, no, Dollar General." I mean, like I'm all for this, man. Like this is community involvement 101.
Absolutely. So we got that corrected. So everybody, April 11th, 4:30 p.m. Be there and voice your opinion. So
Mark, the Planning Commission, that brought up something else, right? I think you mentioned to me we got some constructive criticism from somebody. Was it I don't know what you're gonna have to break this down. You're the communications guy for
I'm the communications
for
guy.
Facebook.
I don't.
Man.
I'm just communications guy. I'm not the VP communications. I'm not the CEO of communications. I'm just a guy.
Yeah, we haven't hired those positions yet.
No, I bring out the trash and I do the communication. So, long story short, someone from the Planning Commission reached out to us earlier in the week, sent us a message and questioning the accuracy of some of our content we had on our 5th episode, the one with Peter Christie. So I replied back to her.
What is it? Dollar Generals and Denmark trips, I think was the title of that one.
That's exactly what it was. Yep. So that person is on the Planning Commission, sent me a message and said something to the effect that they're questioning some of the information, factual information. So I replied back to him and said, what information do you feel is inaccurate or so I finally was able to get her a day later and this person, we set up a call and I talked to her and, I asked her what information.
Did we misrepresent anything or anything? That's what I'm concerned. Like I've done the research on the GIS site, right, for the Dollar General plot and all that. I mean, I don't think we misrepresented anything with that. I mean, that's a touchy issue in the community. That's why we did that bit, right? Because there are so many people that were like, it's the other side. It's the Metfield Golf Course. People were putting out like bad information. And we wanted to make sure people were actually educated and informed on what the plot was, the history of the plot. It has changed hands. We never, we're just spitting out the information from the Benton County GIS website. This is all publicly available information. We just happen to have a talent of curating it pretty quickly and putting it out there.
So I arranged a time to talk to this individual. I had the conversation with what information did you feel that was inaccurate, wasn't factual, because I wanted to get down the bottom like you. I want to have an answer and correct the record. I told, I offered to have that person on our show or put together a prepared statement and I would read it on her behalf, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we are about, right? We want to be factually correct, right? I mean, like we want to have supporting documentation and everything else. And I mean, it goes back to Facebook, right? There's a narrative out there. We don't want to be those people that are painting a false narrative.
So the conversation was a little odd to me. It turned into like an interview and how long you been doing this and how long you lived here? Where do you work? And I'm like, what am I doing? Am I interviewing for a position? I'm calling on behalf.
You get a JOB offer?
So there was discrepancy of some factual information. So this conversation continued to go. She did say, this person said we were doing a good job. She enjoyed it. She subscribed to the show. So she did say that. And then the next statement said, there's a lot of other shows out there that are negative and go on the wayside. So I'm not sure what that meant, but
I mean, I've seen rant pages before, right? I mean, I've seen some rant pages in the past where people are.
I'm sure.
I mean, again, it's protected speech, right? I mean, there is no such thing as hate speech, right? There's hateful speech, but it's protected speech. So your opinion.
Right. So she had a lot of positive things to say about the show, which
Good. I'm glad.
I told her I appreciated. But then she had said she had an issue with one part of it.
Okay.
And I'll share that with you now. So when we finished up with talking about Peter Christie, you remember, and towards the end, that was a little sound you did there, and she basically said something to the effect that it was childish and wrong. That raspberry you did at the end.
When I did I think you should vote after the campaign video.
Right. Man, so that was her complaint on that, and I wanted to let you know. And there's no need for me to give that person's name out. They're on a planning.
We're not doxing anybody. I mean, and they're right to their opinion. You have a right to your opinion. Like not an unreasonable guy, right? You have the right to your opinion, right? But hey, what was they said that bit was what?
Childish and wrong is what the wording was used.
I'm not a seasoned producer, right? I mean, like, I think we actually had some technical problems in last week's podcast. I'm like, what kind of producer are you, Chris? Really? Come on.
So I did have that
guy,
discussion
right? You know?
with this person. I told her, hey, we work full-time jobs. We do this, to provide for the community and give us,
public service, man.
Yeah, public service to the community. It's not an income stream for us, and we enjoy doing it. And that's where I left it. But that conversation towards the end went towards the raspberry.
Wow. So the conversation started off as like, you guys got something wrong. We didn't. And this is okay. I'm a little shocked, man. Like, I mean, I appreciate the feedback, though. I really do. I'm
going by.
All I gotta say, man, I gotta say, Mark, is just sorry, not sorry. I'm entitled to my opinion. I mean, if I was really going to put out my real honest opinion, I probably wouldn't have blown a raspberry. And I think at the end of that campaign video, it was like, I'm Peter Christian. I'm asking you for your vote, right? And I blew the raspberry and went, I'm sorry if that offended you, because at the end of the day, I'm really starting to think like that wasn't an accurate representation of my feelings, but I held back and. Again, I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm sorry if you disagree with me or you felt it was childish, right? I think to provide some clarity, I probably should have just, what was the bit? I'm Peter Christian. I'm asking for your vote. I mean, I said what I said, I mean, like, at the end of the day, I mean, you're not my mama. It's childish, probably, maybe, but there is an entertainment value that we throw on this, right? There's a little bit of entertainment value that we throw on this, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't work for you. I don't work for you. I mean, like, this is our show. I mean, I appreciate the input, though. And honestly, to be 100%, I'm not being facetious at all, okay? I'm not. But at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm all man over here, obviously, if I'm pulling up those suckers, right? So,
Who's the editor, man?
Where the heck is the editor? The editor is like...
What the hell?
I mean, he's like, listening over the radio and stuff. He's like, I mean, man. I bet I'm gonna be pulled into the boss's office. So
maybe I should have told you.
Man, I'm sorry. Yeah. So again, I said what I said. I'm not gonna be apologetic for my opinions or my views or who I am. I'm gonna be true to myself. I'm authentic. I am who I am, and we. At the end of the day, I appreciate your feedback. I hope that you don't, write me off. I don't write off anybody. I still believe in people. We just agree to disagree on the way that I respond to things. That's it. That's all I got, man.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, I think we went off the rails right there, man.
We beat the horse, man.
Yeah, we went off the rails on that one. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. That old gut, man. Old trusty Rusty down there. So... What else we got, man? Like, wow, Dollar General is to doing that. Wow. So yeah, make sure you get out there on Monday, April 11th, 4:30 p.m. Make your voice heard. If you want to collaborate with your partners or your neighbors or whatever, right? And try to efficiently speed up the process. More power to you, right? If you feel like your voice is going to be heard that way, more power to you, right? But flip side of that coin is if you want to be heard, be heard. Make your point.
Good point. I think everybody should be entitled to offer their input or insight on the issue. So if they want to do it in a group, knock yourself out, but you're entitled to have your own opinion. So, all right. What do you want to hit on next, Chris?
I think we should probably take a quick break because we do have another topic of discussion that's going on in the city that some people have actually reached out to me about. And I think this is probably a good topic to get people, minds marinating on before the next city council meeting. And I think that is on, when is the next city council meeting, Chris? The 18th? I think it's the 18th.
Okay.
So this might be something that people, have recognized, but they really haven't like actually visually observed and, or I know everybody's so busy. They probably haven't even cataloged it, right? It's like, it is what it is at this point, right? I mean, it's been a rough 2 years for all Americans.
Yeah. It has.
But, we're going to get another topic, again, not beating up nobody. We're just talking about some issues in our community that I know all of these are solvable. Everything that we talk about is solvable with love, compassion, and understanding and, accountability. All right. We'll be right back. We'll see you in a few. We are back. Hopefully you're still hanging in there. If not, I know you guys watch it on YouTube, and you feel free to like take a break from us. All right, we don't want you glued to your screens the whole time. You can always come back. Just remember where you're at, Scrub. I am going to start looking at doing some in the description. I'm going to try to give you like links to the segments. That way, like if you just finished up like the Dollar General bit, you can click and you can go to the next one and just skip the break altogether. And that will be in the post after it's live streamed and when we move it over to videos. Still working on this, but we appreciate all the support. Remember to share, like, subscribe, tell a friend, help us grow the show. And got some really great news, by the way, Mark. We are now the official owners of NWAExchange.com. And so I will be doing some work. Getting us our own official emails, and then under our names, we'll have our official emails. So if anybody feels the need to contact us and they don't want to do it via Facebook Messenger or something like that, they will have the ability to email us, or they can email the show altogether. Setting up a website soon. We'll be mirroring our content over there as well, because we know the overlords like to take down stuff. So exciting news coming in the future. So
yeah, and we've been getting a lot of input, Chris, from people watching the show, giving us different ideas, things we could do different.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I really appreciate that. I appreciate people's. I mean, again,
I love support, right?
Yeah, and I want to make the content better. I want to make it better for everybody. So we really, truly appreciate everybody's input, and don't be afraid to put stuff in there in the comments section or something we could do differently. That'd be awesome. So
we're here with you. We're in the bunkers with you, right? I mean, we're your neighbors, right? I mean, some of the feedback.
Say something, man.
Yeah, some of the feedback that I've gotten is just like, man, thank you for being a voice. I mean, there are a lot of people who are afraid to speak up in these times, and
well, can you blame them?
You can probably just call me stupid, right? I am a little stupid, so I just open my mouth, man. Daddy used to say, "Don't let that alligator mouth overload your hummingbird butt," but never sunk in. It's a little hard up there.
That's a good analogy, isn't it?
Man, so we got another topic. People pointed out some issues. I love that people just don't have a problem tossing some issues my way, though. Because well,
sometimes
I'm a resource.
Know about them, Chris.
I'm a resource, man. That's all I am. I will do my digging when I can, when I'm allowed to, right? But I don't know, man. I don't even know how to even get into this, right? There's a lot of construction going on. I mean, we're growing our rears off over here in Bella Vista, right? I mean, we're going to have a Kim Kardashian booty by the time Bella Vista is done. I mean, this sucker is getting out there and everything's growing. And man, with growth, there are struggles and pains, but I don't think that one of those struggles and pains should be, neighborhoods getting trashed by builders, right? We're not calling out any specific builder, so don't get your panties in a bunch just yet. What I'm saying is there are some really bad construction sites, and there's some really bad plans happening that are being approved, by somebody. I'm not saying it's the city. I'm not saying it's the ACC, but somebody's approving some of this stuff, and somebody ain't following through on this stuff, right? Baseball analogy, Mark. Still with me, Mark?
Yeah.
Right? You got to have that follow through.
I'm with you, bro.
Got to have that follow through. And, took a drive. Again, some people pointed some stuff out to me, and we'll see if we can get this pulled up for everybody. We'll take a trip right back over to Safari. I know I say that, but that's where I live. Safari Land. Put together a little bit of video footage, and so this is the.
Oh, that's the
house that don't fit. This is the house that don't fit.
But I'll say it's beautiful. It looks like it should be in.
It should be like up in the Alps or something, man, or like up in Colorado. It'd be like the Bella Vista, man. But look at that. The amount of stuff that's just scattered everywhere. I know it's a construction site, y'all. I know it is, but I mean, there's a lot of trash in here. There's a lot of trash just laying right here down in the ditch. Where's the receptacle for disposing of, waste? There's not one there. There should be a dumpster on site, I would think, right? Look at this.
Yeah, there's no trash container there. And I know where this is.
I know where I can get a little kiddie pool, though, if I need one.
Yeah, probably mixing cement in there. But that area there is right off the back 40, so all that stuff is blowing down the hillside, and it actually blew down up on the other side where I live, and I just been cleaning it up, man. It's just loose paper and plastic and all kinds of stuff. So people live right next to that house, and there's no trash container there. The stuff's just everywhere. If you look closely at if you go back to that other screen, there's soda bottles. It's just lack of respect. And again, you made a great point. There's some really good builders around here, and people that have their area clean. And
dude, there's a house being built on our street that is I'm so impressed with these. They have their stuff organized. even when the rains, before they got like the doors in and stuff, they're putting up tarps, to keep any type of water from coming into the house while they're finishing the inside and stuff. I mean, like, they're very meticulous. You can tell, right? And then you go like, I don't know, we'll show it in a little bit, right? But then you go down the road, right? And it's like, what just happened? Are we living in Ukraine? I mean, like, seriously, like.
Well, yeah. I mean, it goes back to what I said before. It's just, I understand you got subcontractors going in and out there, but it doesn't absolve you of you got to clean up your area.
Where's the foreman, right? Where's the guy like checking up on the work and like saying, I mean, OSHA should be involved in some of this stuff that I've seen this week. Like, OSHA should be like, I mean, if somebody gets hurt, dude, what the heck's going to happen? I mean,
I mean, it's been like that for weeks, though. I go by there. I mean, it's been like that for I don't know how long, but it's just, it's
if that was my front yard, though, I'm sure like somebody from community development would be coming over here and throwing me a haymaker. I'm sure of it, right?
Yeah, it's disrespectful to the people that live in that area, I guess, is what it comes down to, and lack of respect for someone that does that work and not cleaning up after themselves. It's just trash everywhere. There's soda cans, and I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's not just one area.
There should be a receptacle though for like, I mean, okay. I think that, you're not allowed to remove anything from a property that's being built too. So on top of it, if you were to go over there and clean that up, technically you're violating the law, right? Yeah. Where's the trash receptacle? Where's the dumpster? I mean, like morning cleanup should be like morning cleanup at a minimum, but evening cleanup before you leave the work site should be like a priority. It goes back to work ethic and all that.
Well, it's respect for your work site. So there was a trash compactor there, and it must have filled up. They took it off, but there's nothing there. So everybody's just throwing crap on the ground.
I'm like looking. I've never looked at it from the backside of this property, but I mean, that wouldn't be that bad sitting on that deck, man. That's pretty. I question the windows where they have it, right? Because like everybody's coming around that corner, those headlights are beaming right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful house. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit in that area. It just looks like you said.
Yeah, it's like you're driving around that corner and you're like,
yeah,
what is that?
A mountain or
yeah.
But, it's like a monstrosity.
But it's a beautiful home. Yeah, I question the placement. Like I wouldn't have put the windows right there. I mean, like all that road traffic at night, the lights. I don't know. If you get blackout shades, it probably won't even bother you. But
hey, they got the permit. Everything's done. I mean, but again, you have to clean up your area and keep it maintained. Yeah. So that's just one of. Yeah, I mean, look at that. And that stuff you can't see down the hill. A lot of that stuff with that wind we had, 45, 50 mile per hour winds, it blew all that stuff down the hill. And if you look down, way down there, that's where the back 40 starts.
Yeah.
It's up on the top of the hill of Buckingham and makes its way down. All that stuff's blowing down there and it blows on the other side, into the ravine.
And wildlife are grabbing it and all that, and it's
just not a good look.
No, we want our.
I don't know what, I mean, I don't know where that I would imagine the regulations got to come through the planning, community development, right?
I would think I'm not an expert because this is where it gets weird with that three-legged dog. I mean, that three-legged stool that they keep on referring to, right? I mean, I got a story about a three-legged dog. We'll get to that later if you want, but the three-legged stool, right? And it's like if you're not leaning in the right way or you don't got your butt cheek, placed in the right position, so everybody's going to tip over, right? Well, I don't know if it's an ACC thing or if it's a city thing, but I can tell you this much. Somebody needs to be out there checking this stuff. Right? I mean, like at the end of the day, it's either ACC's not checking it or the city's not checking it, but what's your excuse?
I would think this would fall underneath the city.
I would too.
Yeah.
ACC approves plans and setbacks and all that, and the city should be like, following through with and doing regular permitting inspections and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you're able to put up drywall and all that, right?
Right. But the inspector's job is not to babysit them to clean up their stuff.
No, but when he shows up and he sees something like that, he should say something, right?
Right.
See something, say something.
Right. I
Clean
agree
this
with
mess up.
Yeah.
This is not like
Yeah.
what we reflect, right? A beautiful
Right.
place to live, I think, is the motto.
you. Right. He's looking at the code, right?
Yeah.
He's looking at code of the building. So
Again,
yeah,
this
there's
stuff's kind
gotta
of
be- it has-
happening under Peter Christie's watch, and
Yeah.
starting to see more problems of it. And I'm not throwing him under the bus, but I mean, what happens on your watch?
Yeah, and I don't
Happens on your
know.
watch.
I mean, I know what's this? Doug Tapp over there, community development.
Yeah.
I don't know if he oversees this or somebody else does.
I don't know.
I'd really like to know.
We should probably
because-
reach out to him and just ask him a couple questions.
Yeah.
you know, like
Well,
who-
'cause there's-
it might be
it
the
might be-
ACC. I don't know, man. I really don't. I just know
mean,
it's
that's-
unacceptable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll probably get more clarity on it. It's an eyesore. It's just an eyesore, man. It's just.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move past that property because I said multiple
and
properties,
like you
right?
said, and you made a great point, Chris. I mean the real estate up here and I'm in real estate.
Mhm.
They're building like crazy.
I
man.
know,
There's
man.
just-
We're
these
growing,
guys
like I
are
said,
building-
like a Kim
these
Kardashian's
homes are-
booty. We're blowing up over here, man.
right. These homes are built and sold before they're
I know.
finished. Before they're even finished. I mean, there's more people than there are houses. So these guys are just trying to motor and put up houses. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of independent
Still no
builders
excuse.
out
Still
there.
no excuse, man.
No, I'm not trying to absolve that of that issue. I'm just saying there's some really good builders out there that clean up after themselves. And
Yeah. Well,
are
I mean, the guy on our
disciplined and-
street's a prime example, man. Very tidy site,
Right. So, hopefully we'll get more information on that. But I know you had other sites that just mind-boggling. to me,
There's some other things, man, and it's like anybody can bring up one instance, right, and say, well, this is a problem, right? We're not trying to do that, okay? We're not.
Yeah.
We have multiple instances, okay, and this is bringing it to light. Show up to your city council meeting. Ask your city council members to say, is there something you can do about accountability for government offices that we pay taxes for to actually make sure our neighborhoods aren't being trashed by builders?
Yeah.
Because we're going to get into this. We're moving along to the next bit, right? That was just one piece of this.
Right.
Now we're moving up.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This right here.
What is that? That looks like a deck.
That's somebody's old deck. Okay, now this is an unimproved lot. This is an unimproved lot, Mark.
Man. So whose lot is
Somebody
that?
got a deck in Bella Vista. Somebody had a red deck replaced in Bella Vista.
Yeah.
Whoever their builder was decided they were going to pull up on our street back in January and dump it.
Are you kidding
on a
me?
vacant lot?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Neighbor posted to our happy positive group, and when the post was deleted,
wow,
I got the I got a photo. I was trying to respond, right? It was like, well, that was kind of a deck move, right?
Yeah, deck move.
You get it, right? The ching, right? The deck move. But then the post was deleted, and so I'm like, talk to the wife.
Right, you try to bring
She
it to
calls
someone's
community
attention.
development. He said, hey, somebody dumped a deck out here. It was back in January. Guess
that's
what?
Disrespectful.
It's still out there today. It's still out there. Nobody's done anything.
So it's been since January?
Since January, man. We
gotta
called in
find out.
January. It's still there.
And here's the thing with this. It's on someone's property that has a parcel on there. It's probably not even aware of that.
They might live I don't know where they live. They might live in South Dakota, California, Colorado. I don't know, right? But I mean, the city could clean it up and charge them for that.
And the other thing is the person that had their deck done quite possibly might not be aware of this. They might have paid.
Hey, if you can identify this deck and tell us who your builder is, shoot us a private message. We'll report them. All right. It won't be on you. But I mean, like, this is why it's important to hire licensed people, right?
Licensed and insured. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is a perfect example of that. And, they probably paid for disposal too, so.
Again, man, if you call in January, like, I don't know, if you call in August about a problem and they don't do anything in January, it's a problem, right? I called in January.
So that was dropped in January. So I mean, I bet you if it was up here, someone knows whose deck that is. And yeah, I bet you they're concerned because they don't want to be on the hook for it. But at the end of the day, whoever did that work is on the hook for this,
right?
Because they probably charged them for the bill.
Well, and so like we could probably figure out who that was if posts weren't being deleted, though, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, be a better neighbor, report something when you see it. No, it's not positive, so we're deleting it. I mean, again, it goes back to I don't want to sit there and bust the balls, man. But I mean, like the stuff you're doing isn't too positive when we're trying to get to the bottom of who's dumping in our community, right? It's not positive to delete a post. If you're watching this, I'm calling you out. Okay, you know who you are.
And then someone on that Facebook page might have known who this was. That's the unfortunate thing about the more eyes we get on this, the better chance you have of catching these people.
But no, this guy could be doing this or man. So you know, I mean, like I get you're running your stuff in a business model, but I mean, this is another issue in our community where somebody's illegally dumping stuff on people's property, and we can't even get the word out to find out. Like, I mean, Bob over on the other side of town might have been like, I just had my deck replaced and that looks like my railing. And this was the builder that did it. Yeah. And now we can hold the builder accountable for not doing this in our community, right? I mean, I don't know. I think that sounds kind of positive that we're not having builders dump in our community, right?
Yeah. And I think if those people are aware of it and know whose deck that is, if it's theirs, just shoot us a message. We'll take it from there.
Tell us.
Not going to.
I mean, we're not going to throw you under the bus. We're going to throw the builder under the bus. Or at a minimum, no. Like, it's not even about throwing anybody under the bus. At a minimum, if I report that, again, the wife called in January and reported this. I know the neighbor that lives next to this empty lot where it was dumped has also went up and spoke to Mr. Leadership himself. Still nothing has been done.
So this has been already brought to the city's attention.
It's already been brought to the mayor's office, and nothing has been done.
And it's still been sitting there. So when was that?
Sounded familiar? I think we're starting to establish a pattern of behavior. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not being vicious like some people accuse me of.
It's just disrespectful, man, and illegal. On top of that, I mean, just throwing it there on a residential area, it's just it's a scumbag move. You know, it's just a total dirtbag.
And there's nails. There's rusty nails hanging out there. You know, I mean, like animals.
I hope someone sees that.
You know, I mean, it's like clean it up, and it's 100% within the city's purview to. I've started looking at that Municicode site. Right, they can come out here and clean it up, and they can charge the lot owner. Right, they can put a lien on the lot owner. I know it's probably not even the lot owner's fault. Right.
No.
But they can charge the lot owner to clean it, or they can write it off. They can clean it up, though. Again, we'll monitor it. We'll do nothing about it. I mean, it's a pattern of behavior with this administration in the city that's like that has me like it bothers the most. I don't know. It bothers me, Mark. Right?
Yeah,
like there is stuff that you can do within your purview. There's stuff I can't do as mayor. Right. This is stuff you can do as a mayor. It was brought to you by my neighbor.
Yeah.
Still sitting there.
And people that do that are most of the time are repeat offenders. They continue to do that because they haven't been caught or just figure they want to save money by not having to go to the dump.
I mean, I don't know. There might have been some Joe Blow that decided he's going to rip his deck out and build it himself, right?
Yeah.
Right. And he dumped it. I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
Right.
But there's no excuse for not. I mean, again, let me look at the phone. I think it was January 20th, man. January 20th, around that time frame. Called on it. Still there.
Yeah.
It's April 6th.
I know.
Maybe at the 6-month mark, we might see some leadership. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, and there's a lot of kids out in that area, and someone, like you said, someone falls and gets hurt or a nail.
It's tetanus. Hope you got your tetanus shot.
I mean, hopefully this will be taken care of. I mean, it's an eyesore to everybody that lives in that area. I'm sure people have been driven by that hundreds of times since then.
We walk our dog, man, every day, multiple times a day. Like, and this is what we have to see. Like, I mean, it's There's no excuse. When you call the person that's supposed to do something and they just give you an excuse,
Right.
again, ask the question, why am I paying taxes?
Right. Man, that's
Right?
bold just to drop off all that stuff. And
It is.
I mean, it's just crazy. It is just crazy to me that people do stuff like that. Yeah.
Moving along, because this is just like those late night infomercial. But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Right around the corner, another person called, said, well, you might want to take a drive-by.
Really?
Chris, take a drive-by. It's not one, but two.
Boy.
It's a twofer. It's a twofer. It's a twofer, man.
This one.
Okay.
This one look better than
Like
the
what do
other
those
one, or
guys
no?
up in the north say? Oofda. It's a twofer. Right? Yeah. So here
What is
we
that?
go.
Minnesota or is that Canada? Like, I don't know.
It could be. I don't know. Don't call me buddy, pal. Don't call me pal, buddy. I ain't your buddy, pal. I don't know. It could be. Northern Minnesota, right? I mean, it's just as good as Canada. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better, but you know how they say up there. Oh yeah, you betcha. Yeah. Oofta, man. I ate too much oofta. And
Oh man.
yeah. So
All right, roll that beautiful footage. Let's see what we got.
so here's the twofer. All right. We'll make you say oofta after this one.
It's a buy one get one, huh?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, it's a drive-by.
It's a drive-by.
What the heck
Oh,
is this?
oh, what is that? That's the mailbox right there?
Did
So
you fall down while you were taking a picture of that?
No.
It's below grade, like a 4
dude,
foot.
I mean, like,
What are
I
you
don't know
doing?
about you, but I need a rock climber just to get down to the front door, man. I mean, like, do you see this? Like,
No, that's not right. I thought you. Oh, you were taking a. You're on the road.
this is, look, down here in the bottom left, right?
That's like
That's
4
the
foot below
asphalt from the
grade.
road, man.
That can't be. Are you
Look,
serious?
there's the mailbox, man. And the mailbox is level with the peak of the roof.
Park in the road. Go through your window. You know what? I don't understand.
Dude.
Where's the driveway?
Oh, we're gonna get to that. Okay, but I mean, here's your mailbox. Your
Holy
mailbox, the bottom post of your mailbox is in line with the peak of your roof. Okay.
Yeah. You look out your window, you see a big dirt pile. You can't even see the grade of the.
Yeah,
Oh,
these windows here from the bedroom got an awesome view, right?
this can't be in code.
No,
This
who
can't be in
approves this?
code.
Who approves this?
I don't
Really?
know. I mean, look. Hold on. This can't. Be. You sure you were on the ground taking a picture?
We're in the
You're
car.
just kidding me.
We're in the car,
Are you
man.
kidding me?
No, I'm not. Like,
The
do you
roof
see
is
this?
about the
Look,
same
look,
height
look,
as
look. Here's the driveway. Dude, you need a rock climber. I mean, like, there's no way. I don't even think the angle is even, like, if you were to, like, have that garage door open and you drive a truck or an SUV, there's the angle, the ass end of your vehicle is going to bottom out.
Well, it looks like water. It looks like there's a ton of water in there.
Look at the water up at the
door.
front door and stuff, man.
Oh, man.
Who in their
Wow.
right mind, like, who's checking up on things? Again, it goes back to accountability. I don't know if it's the ACC, don't know if it's the city, but somebody pooped in the toilet or in the pool on this one, man. Somebody pooped in the pool on this one.
It's like a
Where's
bunker
Eddie
or
Murphy when
something.
we need him, man, to throw that freaking baby Ruth up in the pool? We need that
That's
guy.
crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Look, pan it up a little bit. We're at road level. Hey, I guess you save money on roof inspections though after hailstorms.
Do it from the road.
You can just do it from the road, right? You know, like again, is this house even sellable now? Because somebody made a bonehead decision and it didn't follow through. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to hear.
If anybody
more about
who's
this.
questioning what we're doing, like you question what we're talking about. 14 constant circle off of Commonwealth. Check it out. Tell me if you think that this, like, boy, would you be all hot and bothered to buy this property? I don't think so.
I don't even know. I mean, I wanted someone's professional opinion. I want and see. I don't even know what.
I don't even know how this even got approved, man.
I don't
to be built like this. Imagine somebody buys it. Imagine Okay. You know how we get ice? We get a little sleet at night or a little dew freezes.
Yeah. You're going to have drainage issues.
How are you even going to get, look at this, man. How are you even going to get out of, like, there's people who struggle to get out of their driveways and they don't even have a steep incline, right? I mean, my car slid into the road after driving during the last ice storm in the middle of the night because some stuff froze up and it decided it was going to drift, right? There is no, I don't even think, like, even on a dry day you could park in this garage, man. I think, like, anybody who drives, like, a Toyota Camry or something, the car is the frame's gonna be bent the first time you go in there if you do it with any speed, man. Right. I mean, like, there's neighbor I was talking about. He has seen this property, and he's like, man, I don't even think I could get out of that driveway on my mountain bike.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, like,
well, they can have a whole drainage. I mean, they could have
the road's collapsing under it too, right? I mean,
I don't even know what you do with it. I mean, I'd be interested to see what they do down the road with it.
Sad, man. Somebody gonna have to be like, who start pulling permits and figure out who approved this thing to even get this far in the process, right? I mean, like, dude, look.
Well, the builder,
this house is this house is pretty much finished.
Right. The builder wouldn't have built it unless he got the permit. So he has. He probably has all what he needs. I mean, we'll find out, I guess. I mean,
I would just say that this is.
Oh, it looks like there's one next door being built.
Oh, there is one next door being built. Okay. Now, this one right here, man. Remember I said it looks like something happened in Ukraine, right? You know, I mean, like, this looks like a construction site that got blown up, man. I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to tell me what happened, right? But we're gonna. I'm still shocked at, like, how, like, just. Oh my gosh! All right. Oh yeah, we're moving along. There's the porta potty. Johnny on the spot.
Holy.
Oh man, here we go.
Heck.
Right. Well, so here's some stuff, right? I mean, it's a construction site, Mark. Don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it. It's a construction site. No, this ain't no construction site. Look at all the crap everywhere. And to be honest, there's stuff on the other side of the road. They're using property on the other side of the road to offload stuff too, right?
Oh man, wow!
Here's I put an arrow in there. Bing! There's the.
You can't even see the ground. It's piled up. It's piled up like a foot.
It's everywhere.
Oh my god!
The day I drove by, also they have a, like, where's the trash container, like we talked about with the other property, right? Don't see one. There is a burn barrel. There is a burn barrel. I don't know if you can really see it.
You're going to need more than a burn barrel.
There's a single burn barrel. Like, if you look at this blue ribbon, Georgia stuff right here on the right-hand side, right at the top of that board, there's a little area, dark, right? You see it?
Yeah.
That's the burn barrel. And it was on fire with nobody on site when we drove by. I was shocked, right? All this crap, and you have the balls to have a burn barrel unattended with all this lumber there. Like,
it's crazy.
What's going on? Who's watching it? I don't. Maybe third graders are running stuff, and I don't know anymore. I don't. I'm shocked. That's dangerous.
Someone's gonna fall. I mean,
somebody needs to call. I encourage everybody to call your elected representatives and start, getting some accountability for accountability. I mean, like, this stuff should not be happening in our neighborhoods and our community. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
Don't want to sit here and be like the guy that's like anti, like, sitting here. Blah. These are problems that are solvable.
Right.
All of this is solvable.
Yeah. Well, that looks like OSB board right there, but that's not even covered.
Where the hell is OSHA at on this one, man? I mean, like, this is totally an unsafe work site.
Yeah, I don't know what, at the end of the day, what's going on.
I mean, like, OSHA's going to say you got to have a vaccine, man. The OSHA needs to be showing up and looking at this site, dude. It's bad. It's bad.
It's crazy.
I got nothing else, man. I mean, like, this is, it's the epitome of, like, I mean, like, and if I, like, look, man, when my neighbors my neighbors, I didn't know my neighbors at the time. I love my neighbors, by the way. But when those houses were being built, I was, like, ticked off that they decided to put a porta potty right in front of my front door. Like, so the first thing you see when you open the door is a porta potty. I mean, It's like, okay, I get that there's houses going in, but you could have put it over here, over there. It's like the first thing you open up, you're like, oh, and there's somebody coming out after taking a dump. Hey, how's it going? I mean, like, it reminds me of my Army days where we didn't actually have stalls and we just had two crappers sitting face to face, and you're doing your business, trying not to make eye contact, but then somebody drops one of them, and you just look at them and you laugh, I mean, like, face to face, man. So.
Oh man, you got to go there.
I had to go.
Oh man.
But what I'm saying is like, this is unacceptable in our community. I better. Agree. City officials, do better. Quit bugging people about the color of their fences. I know the city's not doing that. ACC is. But somebody needs to start holding others accountable and quit looking for, ways to make residents' lives hell.
Right.
There's a lot more that can be done.
Yeah, the reoccurring theme here is no trash containers. Neither one of those sites have a trash container.
Right. And I'm pretty sure that there should be an ordinance. If there's not one already, there should be one. Yeah. And there should be periodic inspections of, again, you're driving around looking for, resident stuff not being right. Should be driving around looking at the neighborhood as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
After this stuff, I would think that you actually would be looking at builders, new properties as a whole.
Yeah, hopefully from somebody from the community development will see this and we'll get it taken care of. I mean, it's unfortunate that this has to happen, but it's got to be corrected, or else it continues to happen.
All of this is solvable, though. Right. I mean, we're just don't get mad at me. I'm talking about stuff I'm hearing about and seeing, right? Yeah. It's not me that did any of this. Right. If I'm asking you to do your job, you gonna get mad at me for asking you to do your job.
45 minutes to be done with cleaning up. Yeah. It's not going to take that long. Get a trash container out there, clean up after yourself, then move on. I mean, it's that simple.
Right. From a city perspective, you should be actually taking note of these builders that are doing that and maybe not allowing them to build. I mean, if this is the way they're going to look at our community, right?
Right.
Are they a good fit?
Well, it's like I said, it's lack of respect for your profession and lack of respect of your area you're working in. I mean, that's what it comes down to when you start just throwing stuff everywhere. I mean, it's wrong. And like I said, it's just a few bad apples.
I mean, well, it's like, the argument about, over the summer of 2020 or 2019. Dude, we recognize there's a few bad apples in every bunch, right? Was that old Guns N' Roses song? Don't let one bad apple spoil the whole dang bunch, right? I mean, you remember that, right? From back in our youth?
I remember. Yeah.
But the one bad apple is going to, you should be addressing that one bad apple. Or you don't, or it will spoil the whole bunch.
Yeah, and this thing here is the builder too. Again, I know they're stretched, and they're probably going to other projects, and they have subs coming in. But then again, you have to have that message.
No excuse, right?
They have
to be held accountable as well,
right? And explain to them, hey, clean up your job site for safety. I mean, that's the most. I mean,
the people that live next door and they're sitting there having a look at this stuff, man. Right. And it's like it's just. It's not a positive experience for anybody, but if you post this on a positive page, just trying to get some positivity, I mean, I'm sorry, man. It's like, it blows my mind, man.
Yeah.
People who receive information and are just as appalled as us may actually be able to affect change.
Well, I'm glad someone reached out to you and spoke up, and now we got the issue on the table. Now it can be corrected. On the deck situation, it's unfortunate because you've already had that conversation and nothing's been done, which concerns me.
I mean, if I was to post about that deck though, and be basically like, "Where's the 6 and 60 on this, man?" Do you think they would show up and clean it up? I don't know, because I'm not allowed to post about it. Right. I mean, that's the sad thing. Like, I mean, I hope that you can understand where I'm coming from. There are certain issues that aren't always rainbow and unicorn farts,
right?
And they have to be talked about. And you are running a major page in this community, right? And you have the ability to affect appropriate change,
Right. It's quality of life for everybody.
You're not catching the bigger picture. You're not. I'm sorry. Or you got some ego trip. I mean, yeah, am I calling you out? I am. You feel free to hit me up in the comments, email me. Let's have a discussion, right? Yeah. Help me understand why you feel the need to silence people's, speech. If you can do it in a productive manner, right? If I could say, hey, it's unfortunate that somebody dumped a deck out here, right? But it's deleted. It's deleted.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Then that's, again, we go back to, I hate to be the dead dog, but it goes back to censoring and controlling the narrative.
And it makes me question the person's mental aspect. I mean, like, what kind of person do you think you are that you can, do you get some type of gratification from it? I don't know. But it is bothersome that, like, people feel like, it goes back to the thing about the phone, the phone call you had this week, and I mean, my raspberries, right? I'm a grown man.
I knew that was going to set you off when I told you, but you know what? I just want to be
honest. I'm a grown man, though, man.
Am
I not free to say whatever I want to say, as long as I'm not violating the law and saying, screaming fire in a theater and stuff, right? Right. But I mean, like, I'm entitled to my opinion,
right? And that's why we were doing this.
I'm not slandering anybody.
No.
I'm calling out factual evidence of public servants on record, right? This is their record. It's not my record. I'm just questioning the record or pointing a finger at this point in time in that record, right?
Right.
I'm not being hateful. I'm just calling it like I see it. If you can't appreciate that, then maybe we got some differences, but I'm still a human being. I'm not a bad dude. I know some people probably think I'm a bad dude. I'm not a bad dude, man. I'm actually a very caring, compassionate, loving guy. That's why I actually give a crap about people who are suffering through stuff.
Right.
Right. But I guess I just come off I come off the wrong way. I don't know. Maybe.
No. These kind of discussions can only help our community, Chris, at the end of the day. I mean, this is the stuff that needs to get out, and maybe there should be some kind of regulation. If there isn't, this is a good step forward to do that.
It is.
So we'll find out more about this, I'm sure, and we'll pass it on to everybody. But I do appreciate those people that reached out to you to discuss this. We got it on the table now, so people can see it.
It's out there. At least it's on the table, right? I mean, we don't all have to figure it out right now, but we gotta acknowledge that it's there, right? I mean, the first part of any troubleshooting process is to acknowledge the problem.
Right.
Then you pull your resources and you figure out how, like, what is the root cause of the problem? How do we fix the root cause of the problem, and how do we ensure that this isn't ever going to happen again?
Right.
Troubleshooting 101, if you don't know, right? And groupthink is always stating what the problem is and then putting your heads together and figuring out the rest. If you can't state what the problem is, there is no solution.
Yeah, and it is only going to take them a few minutes, and I would bet they already know. They pull the permit, find out who it is, then have that conversation, and it's taken care of. Site cleaned up. We move on and go from there. But it's a teachable moment, I guess.
It is.
So
everything's a teachable moment.
Right. You want to head to a break here? Then we'll get.
I think we'll take a quick break, and then we'll get into a little bit more positive subject. We're going to talk about some crypto shipto. We'll be right back, y'all. And we are back from that short intermission break. Sorry, it took a little bit longer. I was trying to get some stuff lined up for this next segment. So what we got going on, Mark? We got 2 topics left. And we got about, I don't know, 40. Yeah, I'm not good at math. We got about 25 minutes left, before we hit that 2-hour mark. I think we can kind of buzz through maybe one of them, and then maybe like just kind of go on the other.
Buzz through.
What do you want to go to? We got the
let's hit the digital
Texas.
currency.
We got Texas, some stuff that's going on in Texas this week, and then we got some crypto stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about digital currency for a while, and we've been hearing it. More and more companies are using it, what have you. And I think, was it March 9th, the president put an exploratory committee together, start talking about creating, I guess, a currency that everybody can use, a digital currency that we can use in the future. And before, about, I don't know how many years it's been around, but in any event, I look at it as being... What's that?
Is it not playing? Is it what is going on, man? I turn on Safari or something. I don't know. Chris is such a terrible looking guy.
Oh, you can cut it.
Every time I go to this, there we go. Is that it? I think I got it. It, man. There we go. That's exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, so Biden's he's forming an exploratory committee to look at the viability of digital currency. I think we all know that's the future. I'm not sure if I'm 100% on board. I mean, there's just a lot of moving pieces here. I mean, people talk about, the largest one out there is Bitcoin, and I know you heard of Bitcoin before, and it's $880 billion market cap on it, and there's bunches of other ones. I don't want to get into too much with it, but I just have a concern as far as how these clearinghouses go. I mean, the government's way of looking at this is if it goes to a situation where everything's going to be digital currency, it'll go straight through to the Federal Reserve banks.
I'm not down with that, man. I'm not down with that at all.
Yeah, instead of going through banks or local banks or credit unions or a third-party processor, I just don't. There's so much gray area with this. I mean, people talk about the blockchain and how it's more protective and
dude, I've been in IT for a long time, right? I mean, I did it in the military, right? Communications and all that. I'm telling you, brother. There's been a lot of stuff said about stuff being like impenetrable, right? It's secure. It'll never happen, right? Man, I'm telling you, dude, I've been doing this stuff since the 90s. So,
right.
It sounds good. It's a propaganda point. It's a talking point, but it's not accurate at all. I would be concerned about I don't know. I mean, give me a second. I gotta flip my hat. Took a break, got up, flipped my hat around. Now I'm looking like I'm a sous chef or something. Give me a second. Remember, it always goes back to being self-aware, right?
Yeah.
always be self-aware.
Yeah.
But you saw that. You remember the stuff that the big freedom convoy that happened up in
Canada.
Up in Canada, where our good friend Peter's from. You saw what was happening up there, right? They were like, nope, you can't withdraw money from ATM. Nope, you can't make a purchase for food and goods and stuff. And I mean, this is it. Are we embarking on another layer of control?
Yeah, it was a lockdown.
And the whole Bitcoin thing, it's not regulated by the federal government. So I've always stayed away from that as well because it's not regulated, right? It's not backed by anything. It sounds like a big pyramid scheme to me, to be quite honest. Right. A pump and dump run or whatever you want to call it. But the fact that, again, military background, father was military, grandfather was military. I look at it like this, man. What are we worried about right now in this world? the end of the world, solar flares and asteroids and the infrastructure can't handle an attack and cyber warfare and all this other crap that, like, you know, it's constant fear in your face every day, fear, right?
Right. Yeah.
Why would I not go to something more stable, like, I don't know, physical commodities, gold,
Right. Yeah.
sugar?
Well,
I'm not saying I'm a prepper by any means,
right. I mean,
but it makes sense.
Listen, people jumped on this, Chris. It's 43,600 and some change per Bitcoin. It's insane.
But
And
people jumped on it because of the possibility they can get rich.
And
There's I gotta shut the door over here.
Yeah, there's people that have made tons of money, and there's tons of cryptocurrencies out there. There's people that made hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm sure. On
yeah, they have, right? But I mean, it's like Vegas, right? Nothing's a sure bet, right? The only thing sure that you got in your pocket is what you got in your pocket.
So my thoughts here is, it's like, people look at digital currency, the pros of it. It's the anonymity, but the same anonymity you get is what they say with the blockchain. And someone used this as an example. If you're at a bar and you give someone a license and they're looking to make sure you're 21 years old, right? But you're giving them all the information. So in the blockchain technology, you're getting bits and pieces that go across multiple computer servers or whatever you want to.
I equate it to like Napster back in the day, right? You remember Napster, right? Or LimeWire. You know, I think a lot of people like used to call LimeWire like the HIV of the computer days back then, right? The HIV back then. I mean, if you had LimeWire, you were guaranteed to get some type of computer virus or something bad on your computer, man. But like it was kind of like a BitTorrent sharing type thing, right? And so like little pieces of information are shared across the whole internet. One person,
multiple platforms
holds the key, and no one person could be like getting in trouble for having a file or hosting a file because you're only hosting a portion of the file, and but we saw how that went. Right?
Yeah.
DCMA just got like boom. I mean, like the Digital Copyright Marketing America, or I think that's Marketers of America or whatever. They eviscerated that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I could see, I mean, to a point, the same anonymity that an average person gets for the transfer money is the same anonymity that a drug dealer or somebody that's using it for nefarious purposes.
So now let's talk about the national security risk, right? You know, I mean, like.
Right.
Again, you got no, they can't track what you're buying or who's buying what, right? But flip that real quick, right?
Yeah, it can go the other way.
Somebody can buy rocket launchers and potentially leave spent tubes in a trash can in San Francisco or somewhere in California. I think is what happened this week, right?
Didn't it?
You know, it did. It happened, right? You know, I mean, not saying that anybody spent but I mean, like, again, right? It leads to people being able to buy stuff under the radar and do nefarious actions. I mean, everything starts out. We said this last week when we talked about, was it last week or the week before? We talked about Elon Musk, right? Everything starts out of a place of love, but it's how somebody can actually use that for a nefarious act.
Right.
And if you don't think that people, I mean, look at the crisis at the border right now, right? I mean, you don't think that some of this stuff is being funded via untraceable money, via the digital currency project that's going on right now that's not regulated by anybody?
Yeah, this is a slippery slope. You know, you can control. It's more government control. I mean, what happens when?
For what he has put in front, right? It is more government control,
right?
Exactly.
So what happens if we go to a universal? The government goes for a universal digital currency. All these companies are going belly up, man. They're just going to go belly up. I mean, you're going to have our own digital currency across.
Again, like, why have a universal digital currency?
When I say universal, I'm talking for the U.S.
National digital. Okay,
right.
Not a universal, then, not like, you know, everywhere in the world. 'Cause we're seeing some changes happening on the markets, with,
Well, the problem with
the
that is
ruble, the dollar, the euro, the whole 9 yards, right?
Here's where the slippery slope is. Like the Federal Reserve is controlling the monetary side of the banks and what have you. So what happens if you go universal and you got all these countries that are exposed a lot more than others? You have some things happen here and there with some countries. How's that going to affect other?
Well, I'm just going to break it down as simple as I can, right? You've got a bunch of one. I mean, our currency right now is primarily digital anyway, right? I mean, it's shiftings of ones and zeros for a transaction from one account to another account. The difference is you have the ability to go in and say, I want all of my ones and zeros in physical cold hard cash, right? And then you can take that cold hard cash and you can convert it to gold, platinum, silver, diamonds, whatever commodity that you want, sugar, alcohol, cigarettes. I don't care what you buy with your money, right? You convert that money right directly down to that. If you go with a national digital currency, right? Then every transaction, because there will be mark my words, there will be a phase out of traditional currency. Slow phase out, sure, right? But there'll be a phase out of it. Now, our infrastructure is very vulnerable. What does all this digital currency have to be viable? Infrastructure, power, right? We read an article about power, generation and policies and everything else making power get more expensive.
Right.
So
again, you can create
great idea, right? Theoretically, on paper, it sounds good, but practicality, it doesn't. And now you look at like the ability, I don't know, Patriot Act, everybody said, no, they'll never spy on, Americans. Never do it. Right?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. And
I don't know. Did that happen or did it not happen? I'm not sure anymore.
My biggest thing is the currency is just the decentralizing it, because then you don't have you're going to have wide fluctuations. Like if you have countries that are struggling and we're going through a recession or something, if everybody's running off the same currency, digital currency, and the fluctuations are going to be all over the place. Where you have it now, you can make monetary decisions and try to maintain the value of the dollar. With digital currency, if we didn't do it national and it was international, and right now, I think there's in China, there's like 120 million people are on digital currency. So you got to figure it.
Again, at the end of the day, man, when that light switch goes off from a solar flare, something, I don't know.
I know. Yeah.
You have no commodities available to you you could be a Bitcoin rich billionaire. And when that light switch goes off, and everything's Z'd out, all these hard drives are Z'd out, you got nothing.
Well, yeah, and let's just say hypothetically, your company's paying you in Bitcoin or whatever. You have a certain base salary a week. All of a sudden, the value of the market fluctuates and gets cut in half overnight. So the value.
Same thing could be said for the dollar right now, though, because the spending power, with inflation and everything else, the dollar doesn't represent the same thing.
Right. To a point, but you're not going to have a wider fluctuation. You have inflation, right? But the fluctuations you get with cryptocurrency, if everybody was on it, you'd have swings that were just insane. It's like right now, you got a buyer and a seller. Someone's buying digital.
I envy the times of the past, man. Whenever you you get what I'm saying? Like where it's like 2 pounds and it was 2 pounds of silver. I envy the times of the past, man. Because
I don't know.
We've gone full crate up.
It's gonna.
I don't know. I just think that this is a dumb idea. I know it's going that direction, man. But it's
gonna happen. I'll tell you what.
I'm not a fan of giving away my freedoms to the government.
Right. I would short some of these. I would short some of these cryptos because eventually, when the government decides they're losing a lot of this tax money, then they're going to come in and.
So I've said that for years, right? Like all these people pumping money into Bitcoin. I was like, eventually the government's going to come in and regulate that and tax it. You just watch. right?
It'll
Watch.
It'll happen. It's going to happen.
You watch.
Every time the government steps in, they ruin something.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, the drone stuff, right? I mean, like, everybody's able to fly their drones. Nobody knocked down helicopters. Nobody took down an airplane.
Right.
Nobody was doing nothing, right? But no, the possibility that somebody could, right? And then what do?
Right.
You got to go and recertify. You got to go and take a test. You got to learn crap that doesn't even apply to flying a drone, right? You know, like, well, if you got, 20-degree weather and this type of fog and your wingspan's this and you're going to a 20-degree bank, like, I mean, like, I'm not flying a freaking Cessna, dude. I'm flying a drone, right?
Right.
But it's every time they get involved, it's kind of like the biggest mafia scheme of all, right? It's like, where's mine? Like, and I equated it to this guy. I said, what is the difference? What is the practical difference between me flying my drone, right, for recreational purposes, sending my drone up and taking a photo of, say, like Lake Point, right, recreational purposes, from a safety aspect, right? What is the difference? Now, I fly my drone, same spot, same altitude, take the same photo from a safety aspect, assuming that I'm, flying within the flight regulations of, the maximum altitude, the floor and the ceiling and all that, right?
Right.
But somebody says, man, I really want that picture of Lake Point. I'll buy it for $100. And I sell it to them for $100, right?
Right.
From a safety aspect, there is no difference at all.
Right.
What does it equate to? You made some money on it and we want ours. Right? That's what does that not sound like the mafia, right? I mean, like, we'll
need digital currency for lemonade stands, man.
Exactly. Well, there are news articles out there about like kids getting, popped for having lemonade stands. So when does it stop, man?
It won't. And once they start regulating, then the companies, a lot of these companies are going to wayside. And,
man.
Hopefully people will cash out before then and not get caught on that slippery slope.
What was the other one they're looking at? Is unrealized gains and stuff?
Right.
I just don't know, man. I'm just, I just want to pay taxes and be left alone. Reasonable taxes and be left alone.
Amen.
At the end of the day, that's it.
It'll happen. It's going to go to digital currency someday, man.
Sadly, it will.
Yeah. So what else do we got on tap?
I think the only thing we got on tap is this Greg Abbott, man. Kind of sick of the stuff that's going on down in Texas. Yeah. I can remember I was down in Texas and I think my son was like 3. He started reading.
Oh, yeah, you lived down there too, right?
At some point in my life, yeah.
Yeah, I lived down there. Yeah.
But I think he was like 3 years old. Yeah, he like early reader and stuff. And so I found this like little coin bag. Like I think it had some like native rocks from Texas in it.
Right.
But it's like a little, like a little man purse or whatever, a little bag. Just put his stuff in it. Age 3, man, you always want like something that you can stick like your toys in and walk around with, right?
Yeah.
And so I bring it. It had Texas on it, right? And I brought it home from that trip, and I was like, I got you something, buddy. Here's it's candy and some rocks in it. I think it might have actually been rock candy. And I was like, can you read that? And he goes, Tex ass. So that's how I refer to it now, man. Tex ass. Right? It's because I just remember it was so cute, right? He's like, what's that say, buddy? It says Tex ass.
Kids are so brutally honest, aren't they?
He's 3 years old, man. You can read it though, right? It's a proud papa moment. But anyhow, so yeah, old Greg Abbott, man, he's shooting some warning shots across the bow.
Really?
Find that, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, not that one, not that one, not that one. Oh, there it is, that one.
Uh-oh.
All right. So, Greg Abbott. Texas will charter buses of illegal immigrants to D.C.
Really? Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you serious?
I think Texas has had their fair share of this stuff. I mean,
Did this just
we
happen?
got to get the border secured, man.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of cattle ranches out there, and people are fed up, man. They're just
underway.
Here we go. This is it right here. It's about halfway through. He I think other part of this news conference, he appropriated some funds to the state police, and then
Okay.
That project underway immediately for the zero tolerance and the inspections that will be taking place. Second,
yeah, state police are going to be able to look at vehicles anytime at any entry point.
So after they get through the entry point?
Yeah,
Then they
well,
start
at the
the
entry points, they're going to be able to search
Okay.
every vehicle.
is providing charter buses to send these illegal immigrants who have been dropped off by the Biden administration to Washington, D.C. We are sending them to the United States Capitol, where the Biden administration will be able to more immediately address the needs of the people that they are allowing to come across our border. To get that going, I'm going to send a letter to Chief Nim.
Abbott's got some balls, man.
Emergency Management, who will be in charge of this operation.
Basically, he signed an executive order saying, you know what?
And to recap on these, what Colonel McCraw is charged to do is, in this letter, I say that I hereby direct the Texas Department of Public Safety to conduct enhanced safety inspections of vehicles as they cross international points of entry into Texas. These inspections should bring immediately, or should begin to immediately help ensure that Texans are not endangered by unsafe vehicles and their unsafe drivers.
Yeah.
And in the letter that I provided to Chief Nim Kidd concerning the transportation by bus of migrants to Washington, D.C., I say, I hereby direct the Texas Division of Emergency Management to begin coordinating the transportation of illegal aliens to Washington, D.C.
He's
He's appropriating funds and resources
Wow. I
to
don't
take
blame him, though,
anybody who is here illegally to Washington, D.C.
I mean,
The huevos on this guy, man.
people in Texas have got to be so fed up.
No,
man.
they're
I watched
done
some
with it, man.
video.
The amount of fentanyl and everything else. I mean, like, this is a problem down there, and they're
crazy.
done.
It's
They're
craziness.
sick of it. They're sick of it.
Holy moly!
Nothing.
I don't
Again, it
blame
goes
them,
back
man.
to this administration, right? What is this administration actually doing for the American people?
Wow, that's bold. Though,
If you got some information, you know, and want to tell me, you know, because I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. The old saying is I'll hug your elephant and kiss your ass. You know, I mean, like
yeah.
I'm an independent man.
Right.
You know,
So it's. I mean, it's safety. We don't even know who's ruling this country. I mean, he just said cartel members. I mean, there's people rolling in this country. I mean, it's got to be just horrible down there right now.
Well,
I mean, can you imagine living on the border, having a house?
Dude,
I
I
mean,
lived
you
on the
have to
border, man,
barricade.
down in Arizona, man. I mean, I lived on the border down there, man. It, you know, back then it was, you know, you would see migrants coming over, you know.
Yeah,
But it wasn't like it is today. I mean, I could
we don't even
back
know.
then I could go down to Mexico without having to have a passport or nothing. I could just go over and show my ID and get back.
But think about this. You don't even know who's coming in here. People are committing crimes, horrendous crimes, horrific crimes, and we don't even know who they are. Anybody. I mean,
anybody.
It's so out of control. I don't blame them. I mean,
He's fed up, man. Texans are fed up.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
You know who's charged with doing that, though? It's not, you know, Kamala Harris is charged with actually, like, dealing with our border crisis.
Right.
Ain't nothing changed, though.
No. So the border control is there. It's like the U.S. or Canadian border patrol, right? They're there. So what is he saying? The state is going to supersede the border control? I mean, how's this going to work? It's going to be a double stop?
The Texas, you know, every state has their own state constitution. They have their own rules, right? And they have the ability to opt out. I mean, most states have the ability to opt out. I know Texas for sure has the ability to succeed. They wrote that into their state constitution, right?
Right.
They're at the point right now where they're like, you know, and I think there's another thing that's going to happen with COVID restrictions that Joe Biden's mulling around, which basically would create an even worse influx of people into Texas.
Wow.
With restrictions. So, again,
So his hand is forced, basically. Right now.
he's
got
at
no
the point
choice.
like, okay, if you're going to allow this, then
Yeah.
when we catch them, right? Because we're going to follow our state laws. Like you have to be a documented U.S. citizen to be in our state.
Right.
Texas Rangers will take care of this. If the Border Control won't, the Texas Rangers will. State police will. And anybody we find, we're going to detain.
Right.
Figure out who they are. If they're a U.S. citizen, we'll let them go. But if you're not, you're on a charter bus to D.C. This should get interesting pretty quick, man.
How does this go down? They probably can't speak English. They pull the bus up in front of the Capitol building. They just go, hey, we're gonna go grab something to eat, and they all get out and they bus speeds away.
I don't know, man.
I don't
know. Again, probably a publicity stunt, but
yeah, I don't even know. I don't.
I'm just like,
man.
I mean, the principle behind it though is like somebody do something, or we're shipping them. Shipping this problem to your front door.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I don't blame him. He's probably.
I mean, what was it?
On.
They said how many times has she actually been down to the border? Right?
Yeah.
Goose egg. Goose egg.
I mean, the residents of that state have just they're just calling him 24/7. They're like, what are you doing? What do you?
Yeah.
I feel bad because I'm like, I don't even know what I would do in a situation like that. I mean,
2.5 years ago, this wasn't a problem though. Not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this, man.
Oh my gosh, what a nightmare.
We hit that 2-hour mark, buddy.
Well, we covered a lot of topics, man.
We did, man. Hopefully everybody, obviously, we're here. We love you.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think of us, we love you.
Hey, we appreciate all the input and we appreciate your support. And man, have a great weekend. And we're looking forward to. I don't know about you, Chris, but I'm excited, and I was excited to do this tonight with you. Yeah. And I think we hit a lot of great topics. So,
and again, anybody watching, if you got some constructive criticism, you got some feedback, feel free to hit us up on the Facebook. We'll get our emails published. Hopefully by the next podcast. Till then, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Support the channel. Support what we're doing. Again, we're here for you. We're here to educate, provide our opinions of things. Open and free think. Love you.
Amen.
Have a great week.
You too.